Godox has come to market with a compact, easy to use live streaming light that I think a lot of folks will really like. The ES45 is the Godox challenger to the better known Elgato key light, and I've been using a series of key lights to help me light the B-roll that I shoot for the majority of the products I review here on this channel. They're great, but as I mentioned in the review of those, I wish they had a physical control element so I didn't have to depend on a smartphone application for controlling those lights, outputs, and color temperature. Here's where Godox steps in and delivers exactly just that. The ES45 ESports LED light kit has a lot to offer. The 14 by 9 inch panel that's included in the kit is an internally diffused light that is passively cooled and outputs a good amount of light in its small form factor. So what do you get in the ES45 ESports lighting kit from Godox? Obviously you get the light itself, desk or table telescoping mounting rod, the power adapter, and cable. In addition to that, you get the detachable control panel that is magnetically connected to the back. If you purchase the ES45 from B&H Photo, you get a limited 1-year warranty from B&H. And if you purchase it from Adorama, you get a similar warranty that's facilitated through Adorama. This is a nice addition to protect your investment against any manufacturer defects. Links to both will be provided in the description of the video. Go ahead and check it out down there. Full disclosure before you go down there clicking around and all that type of stuff, those are my affiliate links. So any purchases made through them, give me a percentage of that sale without costing you anything in addition. It's a nice way to support content creation here on this channel, so feel free to shop through there. Let's talk about some of the specs of the ES45. It has a variable color temperature from 2800 to 6500 Kelvin and provides a pretty decent CRI and TLCI ratings that are 96 and 97 respectively. This is fantastic news and is great for video, as this light is flattering to skin tones and plays nicely with a myriad of complexions. It is very easy to adjust on the fly with a physical controller, which allows you to create the environment you need when you need it, right at the touch of a few knobs. The panel is dimmable from 0 to 100%, and that's really nice because lighting in this price range usually doesn't allow you to make brightness adjustments from 0 to 9%. And if it does, it's usually really flickery, or the LEDs don't work well in that range. A lot of cheap lights don't allow you to do that. This is helpful, especially when you need to add a little bit of a splash of light to some setting or a product or your face if you're live streaming. Whatever you need, that is available to you. The ES45 comes with a 2.4 gigahertz wireless controller that is magnetically attached and charged from its slot on the back of the physical light itself. This is a bit awkward at first because you could theoretically put this light panel in a spot that is not so easy to reach or get behind, because if you have a tight space and you put it up high, I don't really know how this controller would fit there, because it's just weird to have it on the back of the light. But the good thing is that they include a USB-C charging port that is located on the physical controller. So you could just leave this on your desk and charge it conveniently when you needed it. You could also control the light's output in the same way as the physical controller by using Godox's free iOS and Android app. The ES45 controller runs on a built-in battery. I couldn't find the milliamp hours on any of the documentation, but from my testing, it hasn't died. And if it does, I plug it in and it automatically will run. It has some really nice rubber strips running across the bottom of it to prevent it from sliding around on your desk. It also prevents from scratching the back of the light housing. Everything the light can do is done through the controller. Adjusting color temperature and brightness is wirelessly done through the 2.4 gigahertz connection. This makes this light a perfect option for semi-permanent to permanent placement in B-roll stations like the one that I use them for. It also works really well in a live streaming setup, which they are targeted towards and which they've been made for. And because the controller connects via 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, it works with almost zero latency. It's great, and it adds everything that I asked for from Elgato for their key light series of lights, and it's cheaper. The iOS and Android applications work great, and they deliver expected results. If you wanted to go that route, that is. Unless you really like using your smartphone to control everything in your setup, which I don't personally, I default to using this awesome physical controller. With one controller, you can pair multiple lights to one of them and make adjustments, because you can go through groupings and channels and stuff like that to multiple different lights, or you can pair them all to the same channel and make an adjustment across all of the lights. One controller has 32 channels on 3 groups. That's the thing with Godox. They give you a ton of options to control your lights, whether you want to pair them all to a smartphone application or use a physical controller. Just like these 2 tube lights from Godox that I reviewed in the past. If you want to see a video on these as well, I'll leave a card right here so you can hop over there when you're done with this video, or hop over there now. And I mean, they give you a ton of options to control those. If you wanted to pair all of your lights from Godox to one thing, you could do it through the smartphone application, or just have a couple of controllers, physical controllers, available to you at the touch of a button. So, I mean, I could make a change to the one behind me here, and that's quick, easy, 0 latency almost. And that's the fantastic thing about Godox. And that's something I really like. I mean, I would just have these 2 controllers on my desk and make adjustments. Easy as that. The ES45 ESports LED light kit is being marketed to and is specifically designed for streamers or live streamers. I mean, it's in the name, but it's also a great option for lighting B-roll stations or A-roll, like which is being shot here. I have one light that's lighting my face. Nice, soft, even light across it. If you have it off to the side, it's gonna give a nice flattering shadow on the other. You got 2, you could, evenly light all of that. This light is built to last with a solid metal housing that doesn't get hot over long hours of streaming or filming. In my case, it is incredibly slim, making it perfect for tight spaces. Heat dissipates through its metal body easily, and it is passively cooled, so you'll never hear any fans kick up in the middle of your stream. One light is bright enough to light a pretty substantial space. With an adjustable max brightness of 2500 lumens and a range between 2800 and 6500 Kelvin color temperature, the brightness is adjustable in 1% increments from 0 to 100. With the color temperature adjustments, you can only do those in 100K increments. Some more expensive lights allow you to do 50 or even finer adjustments for the more expensive lights. That's just something you'll need to note with that. Another thing with the ES45 is that when you're at 4100 Kelvin, that is the brightest and most output that the light can provide. That's because both of the LED elements of the warmer tones and the cooler tones are fully enabled. So you're gonna get the max brightness at 4100 Kelvin. If you go to either end of the spectrum and try to output the brightness at full 100%, it's much dimmer than what you would get at 4100 Kelvin. That's just something I noticed in my testing. With that said, let's go ahead and demonstrate how bright this light actually is, because I am being lit solely by that, and I have these 2 tube lights in the back. I'm gonna shut those off and we'll kind of play with the light and give you an example of how bright this actually can get and what the adjustments look like. All right, so this is 1% at 4100 Kelvin, just to show you how powerful this light actually is, but this is with both of the sets of the LEDs in it. So let's go ahead and go down to 2800 Kelvin. You see how much light is lost? And let's go back, or let's actually go to 6500. You see how the light is dimming? So as I get to the middle of it, it's brightening up. As we get to the middle, so this is 4900, 47, 46, 43, 41. Much brighter because both of those sets of LEDs are actually enabled. Let's go ahead and go all the way down to 2800 again, and we'll go to 100%. That's 100% output. As we shift to 4100 Kelvin, you'll see how much brighter this is gonna get. It's gonna start to blow out my scene here, and I'm gonna get a lot of overexposure elements on my face. It's not very flattering. There's a kind of a harsh shadow back there, but if you have background or anything, you won't really see that. I'm roughly arm's distance between the light, and that's the only thing lighting my face. So that is something you're gonna wanna take note of. Probably just set everything to 4100 so you can get the max output, I guess. Let's go ahead and go to 6500. You see how the light's softening up? There is 6500. Really cool. The light is kind of dimmed. This, these blown out areas of my sweaty forehead are kind of gone. Anyways, that's what I wanted to show you insofar as where you will want to try to land with color temperature with this light. I think it's a really awesome light, and for, a little over $100, it's hard to beat. This is a great light. Good job, Godox. I don't have any complaints. and it's something that I plan on using for quite some time. As we move to close this video out, I want to talk a little bit about some features that the ES45 provide that I like. It reduces harsh shadows really well because of its diffusion and because of its thin profile and the way that it cools itself. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat, especially if you're just getting started. Don't spend a bunch of money on a bunch of expensive lights. This $120 light will give you the bang for your buck. It is really easy on your eyes with that diffusion. Most of you know harsh or uneven light will fatigue your eyes quickly. And if you're gaming or anything like that, you don't want that to happen because you're putting in those long hours and you're staring at your screen. You don't want to add that really harsh light that just makes you even more tired, and it just makes that whole experience not fun. You want to add as much fun to your job as you possibly can, without adding undue stress where it doesn't need to be. There's a great physical controller for precise lighting adjustments in real time, with options to control your light through a smartphone app. It's kind of hard to beat. You can pick either or. One thing that I can't skip over and I can't talk about enough, it's super efficient cooling. It doesn't make any noise, doesn't add any undue heat to a small setup, anything like that. The one last thing that I want to talk about is its phenomenal output. I mean, you do lose a little bit of brightness on the extreme ends of the color temperature spectrum, but if you stay right at 4100, you're gonna get max brightness at a really clean output. Ultimately, everybody, it's low profile, thinness, it's simple and easy to use. The design is great. It looks like it's like an MSI laptop, because the brushed aluminum on the back. It is built for live streamers that game, and also facilitates those needs of us out there that want to use this light in a B-roll setup that's permanently kind of stationed, and you get this nice even light that's output. Before I close, I must disclose Godox was kind enough to send this light out to me for testing and review. Without them, this video would not have been possible, so a huge thanks to them. If you're interested in purchasing, there will be links in the description, but as I said before, those are my affiliate links, so just be aware shopping through them helps support content creation here on this channel. Well, that about does it for me in this video. If you liked it, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I am Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.